Ever wondered if you're a musical genius? With this test, you'll be able to figure out if you're the new Mozart or if you're in desperate need of some music lessons. Grab your headphones and good luck! For starters, we'll be measuring your pitch knowledge. If you're the type of person that sings out of tune to your favorite songs, you'll learn a lot from this. But if you're pitch perfect, well then just go join a musical already. You'll hear two notes played one after the other. Can you tell if the second note is lower or the same as the first one? If you said it was lower, then you're right. A couple more points and you could join Taylor Swift's crew on tour, huh? The next notes may be a little more high-pitched, but can you tell if the second note is higher or lower than the first? Did you say higher? Then you got it right. Okay, so this one will get a tiny bit harder. You'll hear two notes separated by a 5-second gap. Can you tell if they're the same or different? Yup, they're the same. I have to say, I like where this is going. For this next round, you'll hear a chord and a note. If you don't know the difference between the two, just keep in mind that a chord is made up of multiple notes. We'll need you to tell us if you think this chord and this note will go well together, or if they clash with each other. I'd say they go really well together, right? Congratulations! You made it through the first part of this test without giving up. That sure says something about you, huh? But before we move on to the second part, let's bring some sound-related trivia. What's the animal with one of the highest hearing capabilities? If you said it's a moth, then you got it right. These little ones can hear up to 300 kilohertz. And you've made it to the second round. This time, we're testing your producer skills. Like any good musical producer, you need to master harmonies. So, right now, you'll hear a scale and a note. We need you to assess if this scale and this note will match well together, or if they don't fit at all. Here it goes. I'd say they do match, right? Moving on, let's talk about melody. What is a melody, you might ask? Technically speaking, it's a combination of pitch and rhythm. Popularly speaking, it's the catchy tune that stays in your head for days on end. For this part, you'll hear a chord followed by a melody. Can you tell if both of them fit together, or if they sound totally terrible? Oh my gosh, I've never heard anything worse in my life. Just kidding, of course I have. But the answer is no, they don't fit together. Okay, this one is the same as before. Does this melody fit with the chord, or do they clash? Oh, much better now. They do fit together, right? Good for you! You've just completed the second part of this complex test. I'm hoping you got most of the answers right. What do you say? By your results so far, are you going to be the next Harry Styles or Olivia Rodrigo? I hope so. For this bonus round, we're going to talk about tonality. There are two main types of tonalities in Western music, major and minor. Major scales and chords sound open and lively, and they're used to convey happy emotions, while minor scales and chords sound closed and dark. An artist uses this tonality when they want you to feel a sadder emotion. So, for this round, you'll hear a chord followed by a short melody, just like we were doing before. But this time, I need you to tell me if this sample is a major or a minor tonality. Here it goes! Wait, is that a sample from an Adele song? It's definitely a minor tonality, right? It conveys a sadder, more intense feel to it. Okay, let's move on, shall we? Listen to this sample and tell us if you think it's a major or minor tonality. Ah, this sounds happy, so major it is. Since we're here testing for musical geniuses, this next round will get a lot tougher. You see, musical melodies have something musicians call dissonance and consonance. You can think of it as a question and an answer. This is an example of a question. While this would sound more like an answer. While one part of the melody goes up and the other seems to go down, right? Okay, geniuses, listen to this melody and tell us, does this sound like a question or an answer? Yikes, this was hard. If you said it sounded like an answer, then you nailed it, Beethoven. Let's try this one for a time. Can you tell if this melody sounds like it's resolved, like an answer, or unresolved, like a question? This was definitely unresolved. Hooray, you guys! I knew you wouldn't disappoint me. So we're moving on to the last section of our test. If you learned anything by now, you'll be able to get this next question right. For this part, you'll hear 7 consecutive ascending notes. Then, we'll pause for 5 seconds, and you will hear a single note. We need you to assess whether the last note we played is contained in the 7-note scale we played you. Got it? Here it goes! If you think it was contained in the 7-note scale, then you got it right. And you definitely have an amazing ear. Let's do this once more. Listen to the scale and assess whether the last note is contained in the scale. Again, it was contained by the 7-note scale. Since our ears are heated up, let's take this one further. For this part, you'll hear 2 4-note melodies. Your job is to identify whether the 4 notes used in the first melody are the same as the ones used in the second melody. Here's a tip. We won't change multiple notes. Only one. Okay, here it goes. If you identified that the last note was changed, then you got it right. Same thing here. Listen to both melodies and tell us if they're the same, or if one of the notes was changed. Yeah, you're so good! Both melodies were identical. Let's repeat the exercise we just did, but this time we're allowed to change more than one note in the second melody. Here it goes. So the second and fourth notes from the second melody were altered, right? I have to say, if you got those last ones right, you definitely are a musical genius. Before we head on to our last bonus round, let's count your points. If you got 90% or plus correctly, then you're definitely the next Mozart. If you got between 70 and 80%, then you have a sharp ear, but still, you need to work on it a bit more. If you scored between 50 and 60%, what can I say? Does anybody got a contact of a music teacher here? And if you scored below that, do the whole thing again, will you? And now, for the great finale, I give you the world's best ear test. Great musicians have to have great ears. So let's check where y'all are currently standing in the frequency spectrum. FYI, an average person can hear from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Here's how this will work. We'll travel across and beyond the human sound spectrum and play some sound frequencies a human ear usually can't perceive. As soon as you begin to hear the sound, pause the video. Check the number on the screen. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! So what number did you get? If you didn't score so well, don't worry about it. Maybe in the next lifetime you'll come as a bat and have super hearing qualities. Just kidding. I hope you had fun doing it though.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.